Hi everyone, I am Dr. Kim Jackson and I am super excited to work with you all this semester in English 341, which is called Reading Literature for Future Teachers. Basically what we're going to do is read a lot of awesome children's books and young adult novels and think about the teaching of reading. And my ultimate goal, despite all the things that we need to think about, is just to support you in being, people who like to read and can make good recommendations and give kids ideas for books, which means you got to read a lot so that you know lots of books. So I'm hoping we'll read some that are playful, provocative, interesting, all those things. So a couple of things. This welcome video is to kind of get you situated, and also hi, so you can see my face. I'm looking forward to meeting you all. First thing is you're going to notice is that I don't use Blackboard Learn. I just don't think it's a very good platform, and for future teachers, you'll never use it. Blackboard Learn isn't used in even any of the other CSU systems. We're it because it's more affordable. What you'll use mostly in your teaching is Google stuff, Google Classroom type things. In fact, most of the districts around here use Google Classroom. So we're going to use my website, which is where you'll get all the information. I put a link in Blackboard, but I'm hoping that you'll just bookmark it. And if you're not sure how to bookmark it on your browser, Google, how do I bookmark a website? And it'll show you how, super quick. So it's right there for you to click on. And then we're going to use one platform called Currents, which is a part of Google. In this case, it's part of the Google Suite at Chico State. So this is important. You will need to be logged in to your Chico State account, your Chico State Google Drive, in order for you to get into our Currents site, because it's a closed, secure kind of area just for our community. Not to say we couldn't find it in Google, it'd be really hard, but it's for us in our little network. So what's going to happen is some of you, and I've got a walkthrough on the week 1 page, which I'll talk about how to do it. It shouldn't be super complicated once you log in. For some of you, you use a different Gmail and a different Google account, and even though you're logged into Chico State, your browser is going to still think you're logged into your old one, and you're going to get a weird, like, want to join Currents? Here's the business enterprise system, and you're going to be like, this doesn't look right. So you'll need to, and I know this is a pain in the butt, but you will need to reboot your computer to get that to completely log out of your Chico State, or just use another browser. So if you use Chrome, try Firefox. If you use Safari, use something else. So another browser will do it too. So that's one. Bookmark the site and join Currents. Pretty soon, I hope, so I can head off any difficulties. If you're struggling, please email me. Don't stress. I figure it out every time. It'll be fine. Don't worry. But just email me, and we'll either figure out a time to jump on Zoom and I can walk you through some stuff, or I can give you some tricks. Mostly the other browser starting your computer will do it. Okay, that's that. Platforms and Currents. The other thing you're going to think about is books. I try to be really, really careful about the cost of books, and there's no way around if we're in a reading literature class. We have to buy a few. Luckily, children's books aren't as expensive as, say, a textbook. And man, it just takes a lifetime, you can see behind me, to get like all the books you need for your classroom. And so I've tried to pick a lot of books that can just go straight into your room as a teacher that your students could read. When we get to young adult, be a little more for like middle school and high school, but a lot of the books we're reading in the beginning will be for kids. I think total cost will be around $60 or $70. But you should also, you can check some out from your local library. I'm happy if you want to get the audiobook or the ebook. Like, it should be, you should get these, you need to get them, but you should get ones that work for your life and for the way you like to read. I love listening to a book in the car. So for those of you who have a commute, that might be a way to get some of the books read. Some of them will be quick because they're, like I said, some of them are children's books. So however you want to get your hands on it. We're going to read one book in common. Donald Miller's Reading in the Wild, The Book Whispers, Keys to Cultivating Lifelong Reading Habits. Donald Miller is an elementary school teacher, who's very well known. She's written a couple of books. This is her second one. She also started a website called the Nerdy Book Club, which I link to on our supplemental links page. She believes in, not doing weird stuff with books that make kids not like to read. So, no, like, some of you will just be appalled. Like, no, like, she doesn't like, competitive reading and those kinds of things. And so she likes to create what she calls wild readers, kids who go on to read long after your class. So she's got a lot of great suggestions in here, including a whole back part of the book, an appendix that has like templates you can use, suggested reading, suggested books, all those kinds of things. So our library has an e-copy of this that you could read for free, and I put a link to that on our site. You'll need to be logged into your Chico State Library account, which is the same as your Chico State portal. But if you can afford it, it's not super expensive, and it'll be a book that you kind of return to over and over again in your teaching for ideas about supporting reading. So that's that. After that, you have choices of 5 other books, 6 books total. This is one, 5 other books, and we're going to read series book, chapter book, a novel in verse, a graphic novel, and a young adult novel. And you'll have choices. So like the series books, like this, they're for little kids, and they're short, and they won't take you longer than probably, 20 minutes to read. Big font, all those things. Series books are a great way to get kids excited about reading because they want to read the next one. You're just going to pick one from the series. Doesn't have to be the first one. Can be any one in the series that looks interesting to you, but I want you to get familiar. These are actually, most of them are kind of newer series, not the ones maybe you grew up with. So you're going to pick a series book, then out of 4 choices. Then you're going to pick a chapter book. So more for like middle elementary grades. This is one of my favorites, Out of My Mind. But I also love, I have these books all around me. I also love The War That Saved My Life. George is now called Melissa's Story, about an elementary school kid who is transgender and wants to be Melissa. And it's beautiful. It's so good. He followed this up with a book called Rick that's awesome. So some options. This is a little historical World War II, War That Saved My Life. This one, oh God, it's just beautiful. Out of My Mind's beautiful. And you should get to know Sharon Draper because she writes lots of children's books. So that's another choice. Then we're going to read novels in verse, which means novels that are written kind of like poems. And I'm trying to think if I have any with me right now. Some of my books are in my office. I don't think I do. And then graphic novels. If you're a nerd, or you could read, I just read this summer. It's awesome. If you're a total nerd and gamer like I am, this one you can tell is kind of multimodal. It's got more than just words on the page, right? So Ben B and the Teacher Griefer, Magic Fish, absolutely beautiful graphic novel. When the Stars Are Scattered, also beautiful graphic novel. And the idea here is, you may not love graphic novels, but one of your students will. And so it's kind of just getting you exposed to all these different texts that you might use. And then finally, we'll do some young adult novels. So, a little bit more mature content. And you'll have, again, a bunch to choose from. And yeah, I'm excited to read together. The way it'll work is you'll read a new book about every 2 weeks. And you may not get all the way through it if you don't love it, and that's okay. There's not going to be reading quizzes or something, but we will do things with the books. And so that's the books. What I would suggest is that I have links to all the kind of reviews or little summaries about all the books. It'll take you to a site called Goodreads, which I do suggest you join if you haven't. It's a great place to get recommendations for books. And you should kind of, within all the categories, you should kind of click around and see what would be interesting to you. When you're ready and you're like, okay, I know what books I want, I have a link there on the syllabus page that's a Google form where you can tell me, these are the books I'm choosing. And then I'll have a sense of like who I can pair you with to kind of talk about books online. So those are the books. What else? Yeah, I think the only thing I'd want to say is that you can kind of count on the fact that I have the course organized around these 2-week make cycles. We're going to do 1 week of just getting situated. And then after that, make cycle 1, we're going to do some work with fairy tales. while we're waiting for your books to come. And then we'll do 2 weeks on those series books, 2 weeks on the chapter books, 2 weeks on novels in verse, graphic novels, young adult, some reflection work. So every other Friday, I'll post the new make cycle. But as you're trying to, figure out your busy lives, you can count on the fact that other than the first week, when you have something due on Wednesday and Friday, the rest of the time you will always have stuff due on Wednesday night and Sunday night. Wednesday night, Sunday night. That's the routine. Things are due. Wednesday night, Sunday night. And by Wednesday night, I mean that I would like to wake up Thursday and read and respond and grade and those kinds of things. I'd like to wake up Monday and read and respond. So, I'm not going to not take it if it gets there at, quite frankly, 7 o'clock on Thursday morning or whatever. Just you're shooting for having it turned in by Wednesday night or Sunday night. And that's our routine for those cycles. I really like learning with other people. I'm excited to read together. You'll find that I really care about your success in the class and as lives as future teachers. And you can reach out to me if you're struggling or have questions, and I will get back to you really quickly. I'm on my email all the time and make sure things are working for you. So there we go. I'm excited. So for now, check out the course website, see what books you want to order, and then join Currents, where you're going to write an introduction in the first week. Email me with any questions. And yeah, hi, welcome, excited.